Unfortunately, locusts are a very widespread problem, and many of the countries that struggle with locust problems are some of the poorest countries. The food that they grow is literally the food that they depend on for their livelihood. Because of the unpredictability of these large locust swarms, which can form, fly hundreds of miles, and voraciously eat everything in sight, they create a great risk to human livelihood.
I study the Senegalese locust, and it is a big problem there because it eats millets, which is a cereal that is a subsistence crop, so very important for human consumption. And the locusts come every year and they do a lot of damage on millets. So my objective here is to understand why is it that they like some plants better than others, and if we can develop sustainable solutions to manage them on the ground. Look at that beauty. Look how beautiful that is. Isn't that a beautiful species of grasshopper?
It's important to note that these locusts and their swarms are a natural part of ecosystems. So there's something analogous to maybe forest fire. So they have a role and they play a function, but they certainly need to be managed.
We're really interested in understanding how locusts fit into this broader system. So how do agricultural practices affect the probability of a locust plague? How does that then impact the farmer? How are locusts managed at the regional, national, and international level, all the way up to thinking about livestock markets and policies that can affect the system?
A locust in some ways can be thought of as a living stomach with legs. So in order to house these locust colonies, we have to grow a lot of food here. So what you're seeing here is this wheatgrass. Additionally, we feed them organic lettuce and wheat bran for a balanced diet.
When we think about a locust, it's not a cicada like some people think. Locusts are actual grasshoppers. All locusts are grasshoppers, but not every grasshopper is a locust. They are special because they developed this amazing characteristic of swarming.
When the right environmental conditions happen and they sense crowding among themselves, they're able to change color, behavior, physiology, and they become attracted to one another, and they can then create these swarms or plagues.
The crazy thing about it is that these locust swarms go from nothing to everything in the matter of days. I'm trying to understand, in using the Australian plague locust as a model, what makes them go from not seeing them at all in the landscape to that's all you see in the landscape.
Great. How are your babies doing? They bury their eggs in the soil, and then the hatchlings come out of the ground, and they look like little tiny grasshoppers without wings, and then they develop wings as adults. One of the things that's been coming to light in about the past decade is that there are strong connections between agricultural land use, land cover change, and locust outbreaks. We found that heavy livestock grazing promotes locust outbreaks by lowering plant nitrogen content. And if you think about other herbivores such as grasshoppers and locusts, the expectation is that they should be seeking these protein, nitrogen-rich plants. But what we found is that they actually prefer low protein, high carbohydrate plants, and they actually perform a lot better when they're feeding on them. So they have a lot higher survival rate, faster growth rate, they become bigger adults, and the place that we find these high carbohydrate, low protein foods are in areas that have been tend to be degraded. So if you have continuous livestock grazing, for example, you end up losing some of the plants in the system, you get soil erosion, so lower nitrogen in the system, plants with low protein, high carbohydrate, which is a playground for locusts. So now that we understand some of those mechanisms, we can actually think about using that as a tool for managing locusts.
By doing this research and understanding more about the basic biology of these individuals, we're then able to use that information with our partners to find solutions for locust management.